Before the new Corvette Z06 was unveiled to the public, we had a chance to talk to the men who made the car. Here's what they said.
The focus was ultimate track performance to try to approach the ZR1 levels, and boosting was the most elegant solution to make this happen. The LT4 engine is a variant of the LT1 engine, and it is a 6.2 liter overhead valve. It has a R1740 supercharger, and what that means, that's a 1740 cc per revolution supercharger. Yeah, there's an increase in weight, of course, whenever you add a supercharger. We have some premium materials we put on the engine to try to offset that, but the power to weight of the extra torque and the extra power do offset the additional weight. We actually decreased the size of the rotors and decreased the length of the supercharger. Given it is a 1740 on the LS901, we had a 2300 supercharger, and we went after efficiency in the supercharger system itself, and part of the efficiency was the flow path of the air exiting the supercharger. There's been quite a bit of CFD development and iterations of how the flow exits the rotors from the rear of the supercharger. That has a lot to do with the isentropic efficiency of how the supercharger operates. And if you can optimize the isentropic efficiency, you can get more flow, more power with a smaller, more efficient system. The performance of the vehicle will be as good as the ZR1. The engine right now, what we are saying is a 625 horsepower plus engine and 635 foot-pounds plus engine. So the torque is significantly greater than the current ZR1, and the horsepower right now is 625 plus, and we still have room for development.
When you have a tremendous amount of power capability from the drivetrain, you have to translate that power to the road surface. Obviously, you need more rubber or more tire width to do that. From a design standpoint, we love that because, again, we talked about this vehicle being functional. Designer always wants a car that proportion it is wider, lower, looks more planted, stable, and even though the car may not be lower, by widening it makes it appear lower. And I think this gives it just a fantastic, aggressive stance. Our mission for the new Z06 is function driven. Everything, every surface, every radii, every corner of the vehicle, every functional element, everything is meant to feed the beast.
The big focus for aerodynamics on the Z06 was really make this not only the most downforce capable Corvette, but also the most downforce capable car we've ever done at GM. The Stage 3, our Z07 that's behind me right now, we like to call it our monster downforce package. It's actually the highest downforce car that we've tested in our wind tunnel. And the things that help us do that are a large front splitter, very large end caps that you can see, and gurney lip extensions on the front corner, and that really helps optimize the performance of that front splitter, especially at the corners, and keeping that front end planted to the ground. The horizontal rocker extensions are good for drag reduction and also stability in yaw conditions as well. And you can see that they dip in towards the rear. We found that the front portion was significantly more beneficial for drag and for crosswind stability. And as you went to the back half towards the actual door opening and the rear wheel opening, it was pretty much neutral, so we could push that in. It allowed an aggressive styling aspect, but it also allows the customer to get in to a car that sits low to the ground and not get their pants dirty or dirty up anything else they might be putting in the car. We made the duct that's in the quarter panel bigger. You'll notice we have two major changes from an exterior standpoint. The horizontal vanes that are on the Stingray are removed, and we actually put these, what we call hoods, on top of the vent that help capture more air. We spent 20 plus iterations developing not only the hood, but the vanes or the mesh pattern that's underneath it to optimize that to get more than 50% increase in airflow. And to help enable that, you can't only just optimize the front end or the inlet of the duct, we made the vertical outlet and the rear fascia is actually wider as well, and we changed the grill work in there to help extract that air and really pull the airflow through the trans and diff cooler. This car needs way more air. It's track capable supercar, so we're pushing more airflow through the front of the car, through the grille, which is optimized. And we are, just like the Stingray, has a tilted CRFM and has about a third of the airflow ducted out through the hood. That hood outlet's wider compared to the Stingray, and the vent design is different as well. We go to a reduced louver number, and the louvers itself are specifically designed. And the neat thing about it is that each louver is individually shaped. As you go rearward in the car, in the vent opening itself, you actually are able to tune that flow so that as it exits the hood opening, it stays attached to the hood over the windshield, and the airflow is realized in rear downforce as it goes back. And if you look at the rear end of the car, we do have a large rear spoiler with an adjustable center portion that's see-through, and that's obviously for rear downforce and gives the customer the capability to adjust their rear downforce and optimize it for whatever track they happen to be going to that day.
Along with the brutal aero package, the top spec Z06 with the Z07 package will also include 15.5-inch carbon ceramic front brake rotors and 15.3-inch rears with 6-piston front and 4-piston rear fixed calipers. Braking force will be sent to sticky Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. Chevy says that even with every option, the 2015 Z06 will be less than $100,000. That's a lot of money for a Corvette, but it's still less than the previous generation ZR1 that this car so closely resembles.